Good morning, students. I am Babita Goyal, again standing in front of you and welcome you on the online classes of STB. I hope you all must be good, healthy, and safe at home. Before I start, I just want to hope that you must have understood the chapter which I taught you on the videos. First was the poem, The Road Not Taken, and the other one, Adventure of Toto. Now today I am going to start with the chapter Ishwaran the Storyteller, which has been written by R.K. Lakshman. Before I start, I want to tell something about R.K. Lakshman life and work. R.K. Lakshman started his career as a part-time cartoonist working mostly for the local newspaper, while as a student in the college he illustrated his elder brother's stories in the Hindus. Then his full-time job was the political cartoonist and he worked for the Free Press Journal in Mumbai. Later he joined the Times of India and became famous for the common man character, which turned out to be one of the turning point in Lakshman's life. He was born in Mysore in 1921 in Iyer's family. His father was a teacher and he was the youngest one of all 8 children, 6 sons and 2 daughters. Then his elder brother R.K. Narayan, who has been a novelist, and Lakshman being known as the Pied Piper of Delhi. Then Lakshman was engrossed by the illustration in magazines like Strand, Punch, Wide World and Tidbits. Then before he began to write, he started taking interest in drawing of his own, and he draws on the wall, floor and doors of his house. Then the teacher appreciated him for his drawing of people live, and after that he started thinking himself as an artist in his own drawing. After high school, his Lakshman hoping to concentrate his lifelong interest in drawing and painting. But the dean of the school just wrote to him and told that his drawing lacked the kind of talent to qualify the enrollment in an institute as a student, and he refused to give the admission to Sir J.J. Institute of Applied Arts. But so Lakshman done his graduation of Bachelor of Arts from the University of Mysore and continue his freelance artistic activities and contributed cartoons to Swaraj and animated based on the mythological character. His cartoons also been appear in the Hindi films in Mr. and Mrs. 55, and his creation also includes the sketches drawn for the TV adaptation in the of Malgudi Days, which was written by his elder brother R.K. Narayan, directed by Shankar Nag. Then he was married to Kumari Kamla, a Bharatnatyam dancer and a film actress who began his film career as a child actress under the name Baby Kamla, and he graduated his adult role under the name of Kumari Kamla. They do not have children, so Lakshman, they got divorced and Lakshman got married to his niece, whose first name was also being given as Kamla. Now in September 203, Lakshman was suffering with a great stroke and he got paralyzed on the left hand side. Now many awards also been received by R.K. Lakshman, and he received Padma Bhushan Award in 1973, Padma Vibhushan Award in 2005, Raman Maskey Award for Art, Journalism and Communication Art in 1984, and Lifetime Achievement Award for Journalism in 2008. Then his TV series is based on the books and works of R.K. Lakshman. His episodes and incidents were also influenced happening in the life of the common man as depicted by Lakshman over the years. His TV series have been aimed on the happiness and sorrows and indifference thing going around, and his shows became very popular, and he also completed 200 episodes. Student, before I start with the story, I want to give little bit introduction about this chapter. That he tells this story is been about the Ishwaran. He called it as a storyteller, and as storytelling is an art, and he is been good at telling it. Then he uses special effects, does voice modulation, also use body language to make the story realistic, so the listener can able to get attracted and captivated in listening the story and make it feel real about it. The writer or narrator wants to highlight the quality of Ishwaran as he is very good in telling the story, which make him appear to be real, and the stories were the main source of entertainment for Mahendran. Mahendran, who been now I am going to explain the story. Mahendran narrated this story of his cook Ishwaran to Ganesh. He works as a junior supervisor in a company which provided junior supervisor to various construction sites like bridges, dams, which were under construction, and they have been given on rent. The work of the Mahendran was to keep an eye on the workers which work on the site. Now he had to move to various places and work at various places like coal mines and railway bridges construction site and construction site of the chemical plant. Then he has been unmarried and he had no family, so it has been able to possible for him to live in the temporary house being provided by the site, and so he can able to adjust well in the circuit houses where they does not provide any basic amenities or even tents being not provided, which has been temporary in nature. But one advantage Mahendra is having, that he has his cook Ishwaran along with him, who accompanied wherever he been moving. He doesn't complain about his tough life where he has to live in, but he is been very concerned with Mahendra and being close to him. And whatever, he just do all his work, he washes his clothes, look after him, and even give company during night time while talking all night. He also been interested in telling him stories, and stories were also based in all subjects. Now Mahendra just told to Ganesh that Ishwaran was a great cook. Whenever he been shifted to any new location or any new place, he gathered all the vegetables and ingredients along with him, which he has to prepare within no time. Then he saw, because he know the places where he has to live is not being inhabited by many peoples, so and the roads which are being made of metallic steel also, so he thought Ishwaran can able to do any magic, and he can able to gather all the ingredients out of nowhere. Mahendra got up early in the morning, get ready for work and leave for work after having his breakfast, and take his lunch along with him, which is being cooked by Ishwaran. Then when Mahendran left, Ishwaran just cleaned the living place, wash Mahendran clothes and take a bath. During his bath, he used many buckets of water, poured it on his head, and just while mumbling his prayer. After having a bath, then he get ready and take his lunch. Then he just make himself involved in reading the Tamil book, which is his favorite books, and then he go through the description and detailed descriptions with the books, which he been narrated in his way, or the story in the same manner. As Mahendra recollect that the small incident which was being narrated by the Ishwaran in such a manner which looks very suspense or interested. As for example, if we been going down the highway, we come across a tree, and then we just say that the tree been broken and fallen on the ground. But Isharan will tell that the road was empty and he was going alone, and while he was going alone, he just saw a huge beast was lying on the road. But as he was moving further, his mind recollects, and he just emphasized him to turn and go back. But his conscience allowed to move further. While coming closer, he found that it was a tree which was lying on the ground, and his branches were being spread out, which shows that it was a huge beast. In this, Iswaran has uses a special expression and badly gesture to just say, to make the story suspense and surprise for everyone. Mahendran recollects another story of Isharam which was narrated by him. He told his native village was surrounded by a forest which was full of trees, and here the huge logs of timber being sold for commercial purposes, and these being transported to the vehicles by the help of the huge elephants. There the elephant, he told, if they gone mad, they have been out of control, and even the mammoth can't able to try to tame it out, and they can't able to help it. Then, related to this, he narrates the story that one day elephant escaped from the timber house and just moved in the forest, and he started destroying all the bushes, creepers, branches of the trees, whatever been coming on his way. Then he asked Mahendra, do you know how the mad elephant behaved? He, just to make the story interesting and effective, he stood up and jumped on the place and start hitting the foot on the ground as to copy down the action of the mad elephant. Then when the elephant come out of the boundary of the road, then he just start destroying all the fences, and the fence was just like a mastic for it. Then he come to the main road where few stalls are being held like clothes, pots and everything. He started destroying all the stalls and the shops, and all the peoples were unaware. They started running here and there to just save them. Then he just went into the boundary of the school and destroyed the wall of it. Then he started making a loud voice, and the children were playing in the ground. When the children saw the elephant coming towards him, they start leaving their place and moving into their classrooms and lock the class. Then he started moving in the school ground. Whatever been coming on his way, he started destroying it. He destroyed the goal post which were in the football ground, and even the net which was placed in the volleyball court. Then he stepped into the water drum, and he also destroyed many plants. Teachers move on to the rooftop of the school and just watching how the elephant has been destroying the school property. Everything was being very silent because none of the people can be seen outside because they have been scared of the mad elephant. At the time of the incident, Iswaran was studying in one of the junior classes in the school. He was also watching the incident from the rooftop. Suddenly, one thing struck to him. He took the stick from one of his teachers and started moving downwards toward the school ground. When the elephant saw a small boy is approaching in front of it, he made a loud noise and took the branch of a tree in his trunk, hit the ground, which threw mud and dust in the air. He was not afraid of the boy who was having the stick in his hand and coming towards it. Then people were standing on the rooftop and watching the incident. They were standing still and awake struck and just waiting to see what is going to happen next. As the elephant made a loud noise again, as he was about to attack, Iswaran gathered his force and hit the elephant's third toenail quickly, and the elephant was stunned what had happened to him. He just just been reacted by shivering all over, fainted and fell on the ground unconsciously. Then Ishwaran left the story incomplete, but Mahendra was very curious to know what happened next. While having the dinner, Ishwaran told that they called the veterinary doctor to bring the elephant back to consciousness, and after 2 days that Mehat took the elephant back to the jungle. Now Mahendra also been curious to know how the young Ishwaran managed to overpower the huge elephant. Then Ishwaran told he has took the technique of Japanese martial art, because in the martial art he has read martial art render the person unconscious by disrupting the nervous system. Every day, one of the two stories being narrated by Ishwaran, which has been full of adventure, thrill, and horror. As there was no television set at the place where they lived, so only stories are the main source of entertainment for Mahendra. And Ishwaran told that today he is going to prepare a special dish, as it's been a special day for the soul of the elders in the family. As he prepared delicious food, Mahendra praising him while having dinner at that time. So at that time, Ishwaran take the opportunity and start narrating about the ghost and supernatural power which been disliked by Mahendra. Then he also told that the site of the factory at earlier time was being used as a dead to be buried. Then he just continued with it. Ishwaran told that he also saw a human skull lying on the ground while he was returning back after buying the vegetables. He also come across many number of skulls and bones lying around the place. Then Ishwaran also told he has seen ghosts at night also. He is not been scared, but as a brave person, he told that one day he saw a horrible the ghost of horrible woman, and it appeared at the full moon night at 12 o'clock, and it was being very ugly and is having a matted hair and shrunken withered face, and it appeared like a skeleton holding an unborn baby in its arm. Mahendra was very shocked about what Ishwaran was talking, so he interrupted and stopped him about and told that has he gone mad or what? Then he just told Ishwaran there is no ghost exist anywhere, and he also told it might be Ishwaran imagination, that's why he talking about the ghost. Then he told Ishwaran to just get it check up as his brain and digestive system has to be examined, as he is being talking nuisance about it. Mahendra showed himself to be brave, but on the contrary, he was uneasy because of the story narrated by Ishwaran. Every day night before going to bed, he just peeped out of the window to make it assure himself there is no ghost around it. He did not see the ghost, only darkness and the twinkling light of the factory was seen. Then one night when he was just fast asleep, he was awakened by the sound of someone crying. He thought the cat might be looking for the mice, but the sound became more harsh and it seemed to be the human sound. He could not able to stop himself and wanted to peep out the window, but he stopped himself and thought if he peep out of the window, he should even also die. So but the sound became more louder, and now it doesn't seem to be the sound of the cat. He could not control himself, so he bent down and put his head slightly up and peep out of the window. What he see in the white color moonlight, he saw a ghost holding a bundle in one hand. He was very panicked and and his breathing became heavily, and he was just fell on the bed. After recovering from the scary experience, he thought it might be his subconscious mind which was showing him the ghost as he was thinking about it. And he also thought there is no ghost, only the mind is playing a trick on his mind. Then what happened? Next day, while he get up, he's been ready, take a bath, get ready for the office. Before leaving it, Mahindra as usual gave the lunch and the bed. But before leaving to the office, Ishwaran just told him about the previous night, which he has already forgotten it. He told Mahindra has scolded him about talking to about the ghost, but Mahindra itself has seen the ghost, and he also heard the cries of Mahindra last previous night. So now Mahindra was very scared about the comment what Ishwaran has told today. So he decided before while going to the office he will resign from the job and leave this haunted place. He doesn't want to live any longer in this place. So children, I want to say you must have understood this story very nicely and carefully. And I must only say just be particular about listening the story carefully. Be safe, healthy and safe at home. Thank you so much.